And so have you ever wanted to iron your clothes and then you're like there's no light, and then the iron that you have the inverter cannot use it. For example, this iron is having a rating of 1200 watts. Look at it. 1200 watts. That means that you cannot use an inverter less than 2.5 kVA to carry it, because if you do the calculation, that will be around 1800 watts. And if you use 1.5 kVA, that will be around 1000 watts. So the inverter will be tripping off for overload. So you cannot use an inverter less than 2.5 kVA to carry that iron. So it gives you with the question of what can I do to iron my clothes, even though I need to iron. Yeah, iron. Some of us give dry cleaner our clothes to iron for us. But what about in cases where you just want to just straighten up the clothes? So I want to do something. Dedicate my time and resources to it. I want to modify this iron so that this inverter I showed you the last time that you use for powering your laptop, this inverter that has a 400 watt inverter inside of it, I want it to be able to carry an iron. So we're going to modify the iron. So for that sake, I got an iron that I wanted to test, a solar iron. I got this iron, so I was like, let me dismount it and see what's up. Wow, so this is it. This was inside 300 watts. So this 300 watts, that means that we can make it 100 watt iron. I don't know if you get me. So this is actually my plan. I'll take a big iron like a 1200 watt hour iron. Let me show you. So I'm going to take an iron like this. This one is 1200 watt that it consumes. You see it? Can you see it? 1200 watt that this iron consumes. So I'm going to take it, open it like this. Do I open this one? Then I'm going to remove the element inside and change the element and use something like this. This element you're seeing here, this is the element for the 100 watt solder iron. It's rated 100 because it was between 100 and 120 watts. So this is the principle that the solder iron operates on. Let me show you. So the solder iron itself generates heat. It generates heat, but it has an heating element. This is the heating element inside. This is the soldering bit. Now, no matter how good this heating element is, if the soldering bit is not good, you'll not be able to maximize whatever is inside. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to dismantle this heating element, and then when I dismantle it, I'll use the nickel wire to make the heater for this solder iron here, for this electric iron. Then I will now, I will now add a heat absorber, something like this, that can absorb heat and keep heat for a longer time on it, so that one will be able to keep the heat, and then we'll now see what will happen. Sure, you get. Basically, that's just it. With everything being said, our next line of action is to design what we want to use. So the first thing we're going to do is this. We want to design an iron. Let me use this to represent an iron. I want to design an iron. So let's say this is an iron now. Don't mind my drawing. Just bear with me. So we want to design an iron now. This is the code for the iron. We want to design an iron. Now this iron consists of this is what I'm saying. This iron. This oh shit. Okay. It looks like this iron consists of two major parts. Number one, the body. Number two, the heater part. Now, if we dissect this heater part you're seeing, this heater part has two parts. We have the heating core or heating element, and then we'll have the heat, something like the heat core. or the core itself. So the function of this core is to make sure that it keeps slash retains heat. Retains heat. But the function of this heating element is to make sure that it generates or converts electricity to heat. So electrical energy to heat energy. So what we're going to do, what we're going to be doing now, it means that if I want to modify this ion, I'll have to keep one of these things. One of the things I want to keep is the core. You get it? So I have to keep the core. So what I will modify will be the heating element. So let's drop this here. So I'll have to get an heating element that is An heating element are usually made of nichrome wire. So nichrome. So I have to get an heating element that's made of nichrome wire. Then I have to get an heating element that's made of nichrome wire and it is less. So I want this inverter to be able to I want this small inverter to be able to power it. And if this small inverter is rated for 400 watts, I'll need to make this ion to be max of 150 watts. The reason is so that we can be able to give a reasonable usage time for the ion and give the battery reasonable lifespan to spend. So the ion should be maximum of 150 watts. So I'm aiming to get between 100 watts to 150 watts ion. So that will mean that if let's say we do the average and we get, let's say, like 125 watts, that will mean that we are reducing the amount of power consumed by this ion by about 10, because this ion is 1200 watts. So if we divide it by 125 watts, what do we get? This calculator. So 1200 divided by 125 is to give us 9.6. So we are reducing the power consumption by 9.6, by a factor of 9.6. So it's become 9.6 times more efficient than it is. So I'll get an heating element made of nichrome, then I'll walk you through the remaining process of it. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.